Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. So very glad you are joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And we're always glad to have with us people who are making sure that we in Terrebonne Parish are taken care of. And that is our own parish president, Gordon Dove. Gordy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Look, beginning of hurricane season, it's one of those things that I think worries some people. But we are in such a good place in Terrebonne Parish because all year long, you, your team, the Levee District, everybody's working so hard to make sure that we're going to be safe.
Yeah. The positive thing, since I took office roughly 7 years ago, we built 30 additional pump stations as big as 1,000 CFS to 400 CFS to 200 CFS. And so drainage-wise, we're in very good shape. None of the pump stations had backup generators, which we added that. It took us about 2 years because it wasn't just adding a generator. You had to rewire the building to code, electric code.
Right.
Of course, all new pump stations, most of the pump stations we're building are electric with a backup generator.
Right.
So all our pump stations have generators now. You will not flood from a pump station not running because of loss of power.
Right.
And of course, the levee system is Morgan's in a 98-mile levee system. Really, in Terrebonne, we're complete except for 5 miles along Miners Canal to the west,
Right.
which is good vegetation, so that shouldn't present a problem.
Right.
The Corps has started the engineering. We got $379 million. They started the engineering in 2 floodgates in the intercoastal, and in another one in Miners and Humble. And also to lift Reach 8, the reach I was telling you about in Miners Canal. But as far as the levees are 12.5 to 13.5. Actually, I can now say 13.5 because the levee board has started lifting some of it.
Right. They're in the process of doing that.
Yeah, this last legislative session, thanks to Jerome Zarang, Brett Elaine, Tanner McGee, and the rest of the delegation, we were able to get $25 million for that. So you're going to see more and more lifting of levees. And so we're in good shape there. Of course, we have an EOC center run by Earl Hughes, does a great job.
Yep.
We've got a great relationship with GOSEF out of Baton. That's the emergency operations for the state. And we're totally ready because we have travel trailer problems.
Right.
And
there's so many people living in trailers right now.
I know that GOSEF has just approved to start anchoring them down, but do not stay in a travel trailer for a hurricane. I don't care if it's a Cat 1, get out.
Yes.
FEMA's trailers are anchored down as they install them, but there again, those are not made for a hurricane, so get out of them and go to safety. We'll have a number of shelters that Earl Hughes will be announcing and I'll be announcing.
Right, and it's one of those things where we want to make sure that people are aware that we're in a unique situation coming out of post-Ida, that we need to be aware of what's happening. One of those awareness is knowing what zone you're in, and so that makes a difference as well. And so thank you, Jason. You can see there, right there, the outline. Zone 1 is everything outside of Morganza to the Gulf. And so walk us through the rest of this if you don't mind.
Well, Zone 2, you naturally is Ports of Cocodrie, Chauvin, and then zone 3 goes to the east side. Zone 4 is east, pretty well the east side. And then as you go to zone 5 and 6, that goes to the west side and up to Shreva. So we'll announce if it's a mandatory or voluntary evacuation that we see a problem.
Right.
With our levee system, we should not have a water problem. I would never say never.
Right.
But our system for the last 6-7 years, and we've really, we've had no flooding.
Nope.
And so our biggest thing is wind.
Right.
Of course, a lot of people are still rebuilding after Ida.
Right.
If your home was built after 06, you were built under the new building codes of 140 or 150 miles an hour. Those homes did fine.
Right.
Some people had a little bit of damage, but the ones built before that either did great because they were well built or they had trouble, including commercial,
That is correct.
And my commercial buildings that myself and my daughters and all own, our old buildings had a lot of damage, but the new ones that we built after 06, I call them new, they 16 years old.
But still.
But they were fine. You know,
Right.
I mean, they had some trim problems and some minor stuff. So,
Right.
you know, if you you know, just heed our warning, and if you got a place to go, get out of town and go. And we, you know, look, Tim Saunier will do a great job. He's did a great job last time. It's Chief Coleman in the city limits, and we'll protect everyone's property. And you know, when we got 2 road gates. The 2 road gates, when they shut down, nobody goes past it. They do have ramps to get around them in case they close them and you're locked in. You can leave with the ramp, you know,
Right.
if you're late getting your stuff out.
Right.
But after that, you're gonna have to go through a deputy to go past the road ramps. And you know, if you look at Sleeker, Entergy, and the city of Homer, which is under my control,
Right.
we've put larger telephone poles. They've anchored them better. They've put 2 poles and they bolt them together.
Right.
If you notice, some of them they're putting these more diameter poles, but they're putting rocks and sand in them
Around them.
to help stabilize them. And so, you know, it's, you know, I noticed on the way to Grand Isle they even do an underground cable now,
Right.
which is you know, would be nice to go underground cable quite a bit. You know, we do not. The power plant was destroyed
Right.
in the last hurricane, so we do not have a backup power plant like we have for years.
Right.
We have awarded an engineering firm, well, actually 2 engineering firms and some affiliates. We are going to rebuild the power plant.
And we'll get there.
Right now it's an 80 megawatt. We're going to go to 100 megawatt. At least that's our game plan.
Well, we sound very prepared. Gordy, we appreciate your leadership and what you've done to get us prepared. We thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And that will do it for this particular segment. Don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.